I've built and sold 2 startups, raised hundreds and millions of dollars in funding. I'm Forbes 30 under 30 and Fortune 40 under 40. But every single time I have to make a phone call, I have to rehearse it hundreds of times. Well, that's because introverts would just love to text you, even if you're in the same room. It's everyone's dream to do something that they're proud of, something that they can call their own startup. But in today's world, good ideas can get lost very easily because there's a lot of chaos and noise out there. But luckily, as an introvert, I've built certain mechanisms that help me navigate this noisy and chaotic world ahead. And today, I would love to share with you a few of the fundamentals that I've put in front of myself as lessons that I've learned, which I call the science of startup success. And in all of this noise, what I've come to realize is that maybe silence is the answer. Because once you're silent, your ability to get clarity increases a lot. And clarity gives you focus, focus gives you conviction, and conviction, when articulated well, brings a revolution. So I've built many such guiding equations through my journey. One of them is clarity into communication gives you startup success. Now, if we dial back a few years, in school, I wasn't really great at anything. I wasn't great in sports, wasn't great in studies. I wasn't even great at making friends. But everything changed after the 2002 Football World Cup. I was mad for football, and suddenly I was good at it. I remember I was selected for the inter-school football tournament, and we won gold for the very first time. It was a very happy moment when we were called, the whole team was called to the morning assembly, and the whole school was clapping for us. I was in heaven. But at that happy moment, I had this sudden realization that if I could be good at sports, maybe I could be good at other things as well. So what I decided to do was create a list of all things that I was not good at, but was still very important to me. And top of the list came studying. I definitely was not good at it, but I was constantly being reminded that it is very, very important for me. So what I realized was that I just started studying, and all of a sudden, maybe in a few months, I started topping my class in all subjects. Just like that, I got selected to IIT Bombay, and my big lesson there through school was that you should not wait to be great at something. Just start. And this is true even when you're looking to start up. Don't wait. Jump into the pit. You'll figure your way out. The experience of mine at IIT Bombay was amazing. It was amazing not only because of the beautiful campus, but also because I made some insanely smart friends. One of the nights when we would get together for dinner, it was 2010, if I remember clearly, we thought we'd order pizza online. Just to give you a little context, it is 2010, and ordering online is still a very new thing. So we opened the web page, started filling out the details. I think we filled only one detail, which was our phone number. To our surprise, all of a sudden, the whole web page got auto-populated with our name, our phone number, even our address. Now, to be honest to you, we still were and are tech geeks of the highest order. The first thought that came to our mind was, can we write a script of code which will fill numbers from 000 so on to 999 so on, and see what happens. To our surprise, when we entered the code, it gave us the customer data of the pizza company for lakhs and lakhs of customers. Being kids, we were happy for a moment that what we tried out worked, but then within a few moments, a profound fear engulfed our body. The fear that it was not only that our data was publicly exposed, but data of millions and millions of customers was publicly exposed as well. No login, no password, boom, all the data exposed. So what we decided to do as good human beings was to try to correct the problem. So we wrote to the marketing head of the company, and he must have thought that we are kids from college, so he didn't take us seriously and he totally ignored us. Then what we decided to do, we sent him a sample of the data that we had got with a very soft warning that if some action was not taken to rectify this mistake, we would make all the data public. Something definitely ruffled the feathers. They came down to Mumbai, we had a good catch up, and he agreed not only to rectify his backend, but he also paid us to fix it. And this was the first time I realized that even though I'm an introvert, the moment I get clarity of what is the right thing to do, I suddenly get the courage to act. So my second equation is that the clarity of what is right gives you the courage to act, and the courage to act against an unsolved problem is the birth of an entrepreneur. So that was my second lesson from my campus days, which awakened the entrepreneur inside of me. Now, if a burning problem that is desperately waiting to be solved is the birth of an entrepreneur, then I was fortunate enough to have gone through a problem of not being able to find a house in a city like Mumbai. And that frustration was enough to create housing.com. Now, if you look at the real estate industry back in 2012, it had a few players, a few incumbent players that were operating at a decent scale of around 50 to 100 CR, but they all had one problem in common. The experience was broken at the most critical point. They were full of fake listings and unverified houses. So what we decided to do was bring an industry-first benchmark of data collection, where we would go to every single house, have verified listings with real photos and real information. The best part is not that we've set an industry benchmark where all the players in the market today have verified listings with real information. But the best part was that when you fill such an important gap, you're rewarded handsomely and many times instantaneously as well. And that was the reason the moment we launched, we went viral. We grew from almost a few thousand paid users to more than 100,000 paid users in just 6 months. So the biggest lesson that I got from the virality which housing got once we launched was that if you're solving a problem, look at finding the most important step which is broken in the overall experience for consumers. And if you solve for that broken step and broken experience, there is a high chance you all could go viral as well. So the lesson here is, if you solve for curve shifting gaps, you can definitely get viral adoption. Now, after housing, I was like a wounded warrior. I needed some time to disconnect so that I could reconnect with myself. So I went for Vipassana, and destiny would have it, I got an invite from Igatpuri, the Vipassana center, for a 13-day program. And I just gave myself away to that experience. I meditated for 14 hours, 15 hours, even 16 hours every day. But somewhere in the depths of my subconscious was this burning question: what am I going to do next? I had no idea at that time, and I struggled with a lot of problems that I felt I would want to solve, but I was not able to pinpoint which would be the right problem for me to focus on. So what I did was I created a framework, a mechanism that has helped me countless times to evaluate the value of an idea. What would be the value unlocked if we solve this problem? And it's a very simple equation. I call it the value equation. It's nothing but if there is a problem that a lot of people are facing at a high frequency and it causes them a lot of pain, and they need to put in a lot of time and effort to be able to solve this problem on their own, then in that case, the score of the value is going to be very high, and you should definitely pick this problem to solve it, especially if you're ambitious enough to solve big problems for the country and big problems for the world. So what Vipassana and the silence taught me was that many times, as important as it is to solve a problem, it's even more important to be sure that you're solving the right problem. And especially in the era that we are entering today, we call it the era of AI. It is even more important to know what is the right problem to solve for. If you all think that the vision of AI has been achieved, let me tell you, you couldn't be more wrong. The real vision of AI is going to happen when the brain meets its body. Right now, AI is like a very smart brain. But similarly, to a brain needing a body to execute and act out its functions, AI needs a body. So what is going to be the body for AI? And the answer is robotics. Soon you'll see a merging of AI and robotics, and it will create a utopian future. It will create a future where this combination is solving unsolvable problems. It will solve for hunger. It will solve for cancer. It will solve for clean air. It will become, the world will become a place that is called abundance. And we will all live there as happy spiritual beings, hopefully. Now, if the AI is the brain and the robotics is the body, and they will solve most of the unsolvable problems, a burning question arises again. What are we going to do in that era? And the answer is where AI breaks down. You see, AI is built on patterns. It is trained on problems that have already been solved. So it breaks down at a point when you give it a pattern or a problem that it has never seen before. And that, I feel, is the unique human ability that we are all blessed with, to be able to imagine and see patterns before they come into existence. And that's why I believe that humans who focus on building creativity, using their imagination to find problems that have not come to the moment yet, they will definitely be able to not only survive, but thrive in the era of AI. And we call this exponential thinking. To not see linearly on the patterns, but to take a jump, a shift in the curve, something that is not a pattern. So very recently, my second startup, Genius Teacher, also got acquired. And we're currently, the merged company is working with more than 100,000 schools across the country to help improve learning and teaching in the classroom. And I feel the era that we are entering in, the vision for EdTech would be, whether you're a principal or you're a coordinator or teachers or even the administrator, you would have what we call agents, AI agents, that would go ahead and solve for the most routine tasks that are there, that take a lot of the time away, a lot of productive time away. And then everyone will just be able to focus on exponential thinking and solving for what is the next big frontier for my organization. So today, I just wanted to share some of the big lessons that I have learned in my journey till now. Clarity and communication is the foundation for success. You don't need to wait to be great at something. You just need to jump in and start. The clarity of knowing what is the right thing to do in this situation will give you the courage to act, even if you're an introvert like me. And if you want to get big success as fast as possible and go viral, you need to have the unique ability to identify and solve for big gaps and shift their curves. In this chaotic era, sometimes it's more important to identify the right problem to solve than actually solving it. And well, you can use AI and robots to solve most of the routine problems. And hopefully, the vision of a future full of abundance is not far away. And all of us will then unlock our creativity and imagination to think of new problems that haven't even come yet through exponential thinking. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to be here.